Phil, but I'm going to put one toe in. Just tonight alone, your increases on resolutions came up to $362,000. If she was here right now, I can't imagine, well, I could imagine what she'd be saying. She'd be saying the same thing I'm saying. We just keep giving these people more and more money. After you set a price, you're stuck. You got to give them more money. And if it's not your money and it's federal money, then what's the problem with that other than it takes away from our brother's keeper? Let me see if I got this right. And this isn't just for my education. I want to make sure I got this and understand this right, because we started with a 20-year tax, and it was supposed to be $275 million, and now we have the 20-year tax, and 50% is going to make up the $275 million. So that would mean that we've got $550 million over a period of 20 years, correct? Right? That's good math, right? I mean, you have to make the $275 million for the West Side protection, and if you, in fact, are going to pay for that 100%, and that's only 50% of it is going to cover that $275, that you can take 40% for roads and 10% for property tax relief, if that's what you want to call it. I call it a hole in the floor, you know? Same thing, because when you do these figures, it don't add up. So let's just take that and see if I understand that right. I can't get a call back, so I don't know for sure. But let's say we've got that other $275,000, and over 20 years, if you're going to put 40% into roads and re-diversion roads, which Craig Hansen could give me a straight answer on just before 5 o'clock when you close, that it's on a priority basis based on safety rather than the flood protection that you're selling, and rehabbing the roads like 2nd and 3rd Avenue that lead up to this beautiful Miracle Mall that you guys are building in closing, so that's going to pay for that roundabout too, per the verbiage that you have on the ballot. So this $275,000 that you have for the other 50% averages out to about $10 million a year. Now your budget per Craig Hansen is $20 million a year. Where? What, snow removal? Patches? You know, I mean, expanding this property out here on 1st Avenue and Collins that's done by a grant, supposedly, it just doesn't match up, okay? And you've got to sell me on this tax, because I'm the worst person with money, you know what I'm saying? If I can get it, I'm going to get it from you one way or another. It just doesn't make sense, and I'll continue with that. So then you give these people an average about $275,000 on the tax relief, if that's the way it's added up. Okay, and that's per what the information we have. So, I mean, there is no plan B. You're put all your eggs, no pun on Easter here, but you put eggs all in this one basket, and if the bottom of the basket falls out and everybody says no, which technically, if you're going to deal with somebody with $500 million, you need to sell me on more than just flood protection. Okay, there has to be a reinvestment, and I don't see the reinvestment on the West Side. Okay, what, the JT's new center and the Children's Courthouse over here? Really? I mean, you got to be realistic here. For $275 million, I can pay everybody to leave, and then it all becomes a watershed management deal here. You know, I mean, really, that's a lot of money, and for a long period of time. We don't know what's going to happen. Your sales pitch on rehabbing houses, that's good, but replacement housing, in case you haven't noticed, for the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a housing crisis. Doesn't matter if you give them 0% interest. If they ain't got the money, they can't buy it. If they don't have a job, they can't buy it. And to burden this community with a 20-year tax when you can't sell you-know-what to bring the people in here, and then you sit there and you try to take an idea and sell it yourself without any substance behind it. The amphitheater, really, you're going to get 5,000 people in that little pie-shaped parcel? Have you seen the wide-open space, 2 by 2 blocks either way, down in Czech Village? Conceptual idea here outside the box. We take that amphitheater idea, we move it down there, shut that street off down by the river, because you are going to close the dump, right? So shut it off, put it there. You give people, they're not up each other's butt when they're trying to see a show. They've actually got some room to breathe and talk and gather, and you put a couple concession stands down there, and that reinvigorates the Czech Village, where people want to open up shops and go to the little bar taverns that are open up. You're selling you-know-what. And I'm telling the people of Cedar Rapids, if they buy it,